On the night before his arrest, Jesus gathered with his closest disciples in a quiet upper room in Jerusalem. They came together to celebrate the Passover meal, just as generations had done before them. But this night would be different. As the disciples sat around the table, Jesus took a loaf of bread. He broke it and gave it to them, saying that the bread represented his body. Then he lifted a cup of wine and told them it symbolized his blood, poured out for many. The disciples did not fully understand what he meant, but Jesus knew that the hours ahead would change everything. Before the meal ended, he told them something shocking. One of them would betray him. The room fell silent. The final hours of Jesus' life had begun. After the meal, Jesus and his disciples walked into the night toward a garden known as Gethsemane, on the slopes of the Mount of Olives. The city of Jerusalem was quiet, but Jesus knew what was coming. He asked his disciples to stay awake and pray, while he stepped away into the darkness of the olive trees. There he fell to the ground and prayed with deep sorrow. He knew the suffering that awaited him, yet his prayer was not one of escape. Instead, he surrendered to the will of God. Meanwhile, the disciples struggled to stay awake. Then suddenly the sound of footsteps and torches approached. Soldiers had arrived, led by a man Jesus knew well. The moment of betrayal had come. In the darkness of the garden, a crowd of soldiers and temple guards approached. At the front of the group was one of Jesus' own disciples, Judas Iscariot. He stepped forward and greeted Jesus with a kiss, the signal that identified him to the soldiers. In that moment, Jesus was surrounded and arrested. The disciples were shocked and afraid. Some tried to resist, but Jesus stopped them. He did not fight. Instead, he allowed himself to be taken away. Bound and surrounded by guards, Jesus was led back toward Jerusalem. The long night of trials and accusations was about to begin. Jesus was brought before the Roman governor Pontius Pilate. Crowds had already begun to gather outside the palace. Pilate questioned Jesus, trying to understand the accusations against him. Many charges were spoken, but the governor struggled to find a reason for the death penalty. Yet the crowd outside was growing louder. They demanded one thing: crucifixion. Pilate faced a difficult choice: to release Jesus and anger the crowd, or to condemn a man he believed was innocent. In the end, he gave the order: Jesus would be crucified.